You see the people who say, oh, I'm not going to bother to register to vote because my voice doesn't make a difference, or I'm just one person.
I say one name, Donald Trump. That should motivate you. Get off your ass and vote.
Will you sue him for us?
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass. He's going to know my name personally.
He built his wealth off the backs of New Yorkers. We need to focus on Donald Trump and his abuses. We need to follow his money. Challenge this illegitimate president when our fundamental rights are at stake. The case has never been about politics or personal vendetta or about name calling. The rule of law applies to all of us equally, fairly, and justly. And former presidents are no exception.
No exception. Yeah, definitely not about politics. New York Attorney General Letitia James bragging today about the multi-million-dollar penalty imposed on former President Donald Trump. Tweeting just the number. Her anti-Trump Twitter followers, of course, celebrating it, predictably clapping seals. A move that seems more like a campaign post than that of a dispassionate, just DA who just wants to get to the bottom of it.
I find it, really what I care about, my kids live in New York. I mean, I want New York to be a successful state. I want people to go there and create companies and invest in it. But every day that passes, the environment gets more toxic in terms of traffic of capital. And remember, investors don't have to go to New York. They have other choices. And that's clearly what's happening, is people are saying, why go there when there's this kind of risk? And everybody's asking this question: who's next? Because that's the challenge to quell down the concerns people have, not just domestically. This is a global story. This is about the competitiveness of New York State versus other states, and right now it's not looking good for New York.
I'm sure that you've seen it all over the place by now. I haven't done this story. A lot of people have. But the backstory is this: super apolitical, completely blind, focused on justice, protector of all things law and order, Letitia James, showed up at an FDNY, Fire Department of New York event to make a very unpolitical speech about race and about history. And she was booed. She was relentlessly freaking booed. Not just boos. I mean, there was lots of chants of Donald Trump as well. And if you haven't seen it, you should. Here's what it looked like from the crowd.
Today we are making history, swearing in our first African-American woman chaplain of FDNY.
Oh, come on, we're in a house of God. First, simmer down. I want to thank Commissioner Kavanaugh and Chief Hodgins for that recognition.
I mean, she deserves it, man. I mean, you get what you pay for every single time. You get what you vote for, too, New York. And you'd think, since she is the defender of all things constitutional, and since she really does represent a party that really truly is the last great hope for democracy, and the only thing that stands between us and the dictatorship of Trump, that she would actually be respectful of those firefighters' constitutionally protected right to speech and right to petition their government. But apparently, she's kind of more of a rights for me and not for thee sort of government official. And honestly, I think, that she was expecting some sort of hero's welcome. I think she really was expecting it. I think she expects firefighters to be some sort of stupid peasant rubes that are going to worship her. And she really is drinking her own Kool-Aid and believes that she attacked Donald Trump civilly over a victimless crime or so-called fraud for the people in New York. She thinks she did it for them. And she really believes it. I believe that she believes it. Either she believes it or she really is just that damn narcissistic. Whichever it is, the problem I think that she's going to have is that Donald Trump has done more for New York firefighters than any other living politician, except for maybe possibly Mayor Giuliani. But anyway, regardless of all that, she got booed. Big deal. Who cares? But now she wants the booers tracked down and re-educated, man. I mean, no bullshit. You can't make this stuff up. Those are the exact words of a form sent out, I think, by her office. And wait till I show you the memo that got put out, the directive to firefighters. It's frightening stuff. You're not going to believe it. But first, here's what the media is actually saying about it.
Meanwhile, the FDNY still searching for those rowdy firefighters who booed New York Attorney General Letitia James at a department promotion event last week. You'll remember this. Brian Yanis live in New York City with more. Still talking about this, Brian.
Sandra, good morning. Well, the FDNY is urging firefighters to turn themselves in, insisting they are, quote, not hunting anyone down, but they are looking into those who they say clearly broke department regulations when they booed AG Letitia James and started chanting former President Donald Trump's name at a promotion ceremony last week at a Brooklyn church. Yesterday, FDNY Commissioner Laura Kavanaugh went back to that church and apologized.
I am sorry about the way that we acted. We disappointed our friends who are here, our family who is here, and we disappointed this church that has given us so much over the years.
The FDNY tells Fox about its investigation into its members, quote, it has nothing to do with politics. It's about professionalism at an official event held in a house of worship. While some argue the firefighters were within their First Amendment rights, FDNY bosses are apparently furious over what they deemed as unacceptable behavior by FDNY members Thursday.
First, simmer down. Kavanaugh and Chief Hodgins for that recognition.
The Post reports a memo handed out at firehouses Sunday warns when you're not on duty, feel however you want about politicians. Vote, protest, that's your right, but don't do it on the job's time. On Saturday, Trump went after AG James, who won a $454 million civil fraud case against him.
The fascist and racist Attorney General of New York State, Letitia James, I call her Peekaboo James, who, by the way, is now being booed and heckled all over New York because they know it's a scam.
The FDNY union says it will provide representation to any member who is under investigation. Sandra?
Brian Yanis on that story for us. Thank you, Brian.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.
I mean, what country is this, man? What the hell are they even talking about? The firefighters union is now in a position to have to vow to represent any firefighter who is under investigation. You got to ask, under investigation for what? I mean, what is the investigation? What could possibly be the infraction? And this is some third world stuff. But this is what New York City Fire Department is going to have to waste their time with on behalf of the woman who is doing everything that she can to destroy New York while at the same time interfere with the 2024 election. You know, they've sent out a directive and someone is going to have to go and give re-education to every single firehouse in New York. And I'm going to show you. Take a look at this letter. So it starts off, this is the talking points. This is the talking points. I mean, that's how poorly written is that? Please have the DCs start the visit tomorrow. Division Chief, I believe that stands for, on 9X and continue on the 6X. I understand this is late notice, so have the visits continue on Sunday if necessary. BITS is investigating, so we'll have to figure out who the members are. I recommend that they come forward. Basically, they're asking the people to come forward. And the commissioner says it'll be better for them if they come forward and we don't have to hunt them down. That's their exact words. It'll be better for them if they come forward and we don't have to hunt them down. The division chief shall direct the captain of the company to make a list of those that come forward and send it directly to John and Kevin in operations. I can almost promise you, man, that the captains of these companies, if anyone does come forward, they're going to tell them, shut your mouth. I never heard you say that. Go back to work. Nobody wants to deal with this junk. I realize that members might not come forward, but they should know that there is clear video of the entire incident and they will be contacted by BITS if they don't. Imagine BITS is some sort of investigators. So they're going to go through the videos, and if you turn yourself in ahead of time before they find you in the video, it's going to go a whole lot better for you than if you don't. And this is what they want the re-education to look like. Here's the things they're supposed to say. It's like, I guess this is like a guideline for the people to follow. I'm here to address the behavior of firefighters that attended Thursday's promotion. The behavior we saw and heard was grossly inappropriate. Protesting, heckling, or booing anyone at a ceremony is simply unacceptable. This was a promotion ceremony to honor members who made sacrifices and worked hard to achieve this day. They had close family and friends there to celebrate with them. I bet you that their family and friends started the booing. They were probably booing just as loud. They probably started the Trump chant. Absolutely no one should have been subjected to what happened based on the political beliefs of some members. Yeah, tell that to the Attorney General's office. No one should have been subjected to a $500 million fine based on their political beliefs. Anyway, it goes on. It was disrespectful to the speaker, to the promoted members and their families. That had nothing to do with the promoted members of the families. They'll remember that forever, I promise you. This was not a political event, and Letitia James was not there to give a political speech. Well, she's a political animal, so everywhere she goes is going to be a political event from here on out. I promise you that. She was there to support her friend and our new chaplain, Pamela Holmes. Pamela invited her friend to attend the ceremony. When you're there to support your friend, you generally show up and be like, hey, my friend is black and she's historic. No, that's a political speech. I'm sorry. Members have the right to political beliefs. Yeah, they do. But you don't have a right to make a job-related ceremony political in nature. Then why did you invite a politician who is a famous politician trying to destroy another famous politician? Come on, man. When you're not on duty, feel however you want about politicians, vote, protest, that's your right. But don't do it on the job's time, on other members' time, or on their family's time. Do it on your own time. Look, if you want to be a MAGA chud, do it on your own time. Don't do it when you're wearing the uniform, you MAGA cult member. That's basically what they're saying. Our actions at the promotions damage the relationship with the Attorney General and the Christian Cultural Center. We may lose that venue now. I promise you, you won't. They don't like her either. I can guarantee it. Politics aside, the Attorney General is a friend of the UFA and the UFOA. I imagine those are unions, and a supporter of our department. And she has come to the hospital on more than one occasion to support us when one of our members is seriously injured or died. I looked for those occasions. I could not find one. I couldn't even find her saying words about a fallen firefighter, but maybe you guys can help me in the comments. These actions reflected very poorly upon us and diminished the dignity of the occasion. I believe that they diminished that dignity when they invited her and she started making a speech about race. Instead of news reports talking about the accomplishments of our members, it talked about the politics and our poor behavior. And you know what? They've been pretty glowing. They've been some pretty glowing reviews. Everyone must be better, do the right thing, even if you aren't the one acting poorly. If you see a fellow firefighter act in this manner, stop it. Yeah, right. Act in a manner befitting of the uniform that you wear. Nothing less should be tolerated. Garbage. This is complete garbage. Next steps. Have the division chief visit each firehouse that had a member promoted. Relay bullet point message. They should understand that BITS is gathering video. This is back to the video. Understand that they will be discovered. And if they don't discover themselves first, it'll be way, way worse for them. We want the members to come forward. They will come to HQ to be educated why their behavior is unacceptable. So don't make us find you in the video. Tell on yourself first so that we can re-educate you. Guys, you could not make this stuff up if you tried. This is the current state of things. These are the current state of things. A far-left operative ran for the top law enforcement officer of New York State on the promise to pick and pull at Donald Trump until she found something she could use to destroy the guy. She feels like she was given that directive by being elected. She's done nothing positive, nothing noteworthy for the people in New York, but she feels like she is owed some sort of admiration. She thinks that she should be worshipped, and she can't handle it when she's not. She ended up interacting with some of her citizens that don't happen to be stupid, and now she can't move on until they're fed to the lions. That's exactly what's going on here. Amazing freaking stuff, man. My hope is that people see how crazy this is and that the more and more these things keep happening, the more aware and active it makes people. Because we can't afford another 4 more years on this path, man. We just cannot let that happen. But that's just my take, guys. Let me know yours in the comments. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.